Hi team, my name is Alexi and today we'll be covering custom roles within LaunchDarkly. So one of the common questions that I receive at LaunchDarkly is what is the value of implementing custom roles within my team or organization? Well, the answer is twofold. One is flexibility and control. As it relates to flexibility, the LaunchDarkly custom roles can actually scale with your team, whether your team is small or a large enterprise engineering team. Second, control. This is super important, especially if you're accessing or controlling and making changes in production. So custom roles will allow you to have that flag level control over who's able to update those features and also make those edits and where they can make those edits. Here's a quick overview of the built-in roles and custom roles that you can have access to within LaunchDarkly. Keep in mind that custom roles are only available for customers on the enterprise plan and beyond. The reader-only role can only view LaunchDarkly data. It might not sound like a big useful to you, but we have plenty of data that you have access to your fingertips, whether it's feature flag data or even experimentation data. For the writer role, predominantly you'll see, as an example, engineers or IC or QAs who have access to the writer role. So they'll need access to view the LaunchDarkly data and also modify the LaunchDarkly data. And then lastly, pretty self-explanatory, which is the admin role. So that's someone who needs full autonomy over the instance and being able to access data, edit data, and also manage users and billing within LaunchDarkly. The second question is, how do you scale this organization-wide? So beyond just your team, beyond just your organization, and touching onto several different teams. All right, on the left-hand side, we have do's, and on the right-hand side, we have the don'ts of scaling this organization-wide. So using roles and teams is the best way to scale access to your organization. So if a new team wants to use LaunchDarkly, you'll be able to assign those custom roles and create those teams as needed pretty seamlessly. Second is leveraging LaunchDarkly resources, both internally and also externally. And for example, I am a resource for some LaunchDarkly customers. So if you have a CSM or an account team, feel free to reach out to them. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. You also do have plenty of resources and docs online that you have access to. Third, and the most underrated point on the do's list, is creating a process to allow for other new applications to be onboarded. If you've had a lot of success onboarding one tool into LaunchDarkly or application into LaunchDarkly, feel free to share that internally. You'll be surprised how your teammates might value even more by sharing that information. And then lastly, embracing the use of flags. So I know if you're first time create over flag, it might be very daunting to create that first flag or even clean that first flag. So feel free to embrace that and share that with your team that you've created your first flag or cleaned up your first flag. It'll get only easier from there. And on the right-hand side for the don'ts, building in silos really hampers down innovation and velocity of your team. So make sure that you have clear and open communication channels with other teams as well. Isolating LaunchDarkly is definitely not something that we recommend here at LaunchDarkly. And the reason why is because we can create really useful data for your team to provide you the insights and the knowledge you need to take action on that. And then lastly, restricting collaboration. Like every other team, making sure you have a clear, open communication channel with other teams is paramount here. The last question I usually get is, how do we scale this beyond that first success? So what I recommend here is define the team and then define what a new team needs. So if your team has successfully rolled out custom roles and it has been kind of like the benchmark now for your team, then make sure you share that with other teams so that way they don't have to reinvent the wheel. And then from there, you can also define what this new team needs. So before you create a new team and assign custom roles, define what these roles these folks will take on this new team. So then from there, we can actually scale it further and everyone is on the same page when it comes to releasing new features. Well, that's it, folks. I hope that was informative. Thank you so much for your time.